Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Wireheads podcast. I'm Diamond Dust, net running VTuber, mainly over here on Twitch. I'm doing stuff over on YouTube. I've got some stuff on YouTube now. Don't you worry. And also, surprisingly, weirdly enough, one of my shorts is kind of blowing up. So, thanks. And as always, with me every week is my co-host.
Hello, I'm Emmerron. These are my walls. And we discussed why that's important in part 1, which you can find in the description below this one, if you have not yet watched it or are coming from that on YouTube, and are not coming from that on YouTube. So I'm the other content guy here. I generally, mostly am just doing this podcast right now. Progress is being made. GenCon, which is the topic of discussion this half of the episode, has been taking up most of my bandwidth, if not my time. So plans and things we'll talk a little about it this episode, but I've been more involved than any previous year that I've attended the convention this year, and it has been busy. So content to resume as soon as I have the bandwidth and the spoons for it. But yes, hello everybody. I'm excited to talk about GenCon. I'm really excited for the event to finally be here. Feels like it's been a long time coming, and yet it doesn't feel like it's been that long at all since we started planning for this year's convention, which is a wild little dichotomy to be in. I can't believe it's already past the halfway mark in July.
I can't believe we're already 2 weeks away. Wait, when did we get here? How did we get here?
One day at a time.
Why did we get here?
Mostly because we're nerds about Cyberpunk. So with that in mind, and I just realized that my lovely Chocobo back there was not presenting the correct date. With that all in mind, Diamond, where I suppose do we want to begin with talking about our hopes, dreams, and aspirations for GenCon this year?
Oh, goodness. I kind of want to get the big one out of the way here. So, we've run a podcast where we've talked to a lot of awesome people from all across the gaming industry, and I hope to talk to more, and that's one of the things that I do hope is we can find other people to bring onto the show. We need to get back in contact with Triangle Agency, though. We need to get back in contact with them.
Yeah.
I want to. The having to upend my life and move again was not in the plan originally.
No.
But anyway, Mike and Lisa Pondsmith. I only want to throw that out there. I hope we can have an opportunity to sit down with them and capture their story. That's just something I want to throw out there to all of you. We're working on something. We might not. It's a busy time for all of us.
It is.
But that's like my big hope.
And unlike most of the years previously, where the very first year I went, I did a solo report on it because Diamond and I had become friends only a handful of months before that. And last year we were able to do kind of a joint report from the convention. Both of those years, there were panels that Artal was hosting to talk about the various games that they had made, various projects, making various company announcements. Basically, they're doing all the important stuff to communicate to the broader world and the media who were there, kind of what was going on. And we had a lot to talk about because of that. This year, things, as I understand them currently, are fairly different. There are no seminars that Artal is hosting this year at all. 0, which is wild, because I think last year at GenCon, there were no less than like 4 or 5 that they hosted across the entire convention. And that is wild to me, that there's like that severe reduction in stuff. So yes, Mike and Lisa Pondsmith would be awesome. Talking with the crew in general and getting to pick their brains about some of their upcoming projects and things like that, to the level that they're willing to talk about them in general would be incredible, just because that is something I know not even just a little disappointed to see that they had decided not to do that this year. So I'll be interested to see if I can catch up with one or two of my contacts there to get scoops.
This might be a Rob Barefoot question. Might be, if we could. Oh, don't mind me. To understand, while Emmerron's been like planning, like doing all this busy stuff for GenCon, I've been kind of working behind the scenes for Wireheads, and we're gonna get some good interviews lined up for you. One of the ones I'm working on right now, we're gonna have Winter J. Yep. After some stuff comes out, which leads me to my next hope. And I talked about it a little bit earlier today. We've only had like one notable release, like nothing against the DLCs. The DLCs are great, but we've only had like one release so far this year, if I'm correct, from Cyberpunk, or like from anything RTAL, and that was Interface Red Volume 4 this year, so far into 2025. Yeah, we haven't seen much else come out of there. Yeah, and I say this with the hope that Shadow Scar, which I had a gut feeling that since Shadow Scar was being released, last year at GenCon, that we'll probably see Shadow Scar Core this year. That's something I hope for.
It'd be cool.
I want to see like what Cody Pondsmith has been working on. Yeah, all these years. Like I can't wait to see it.
Well, it's one of those things that like always has been, at least as long as I've been going to GenCon. It's been a pretty habitual thing that RTAL has something that they release at the convention. Sometimes multiple somethings, but on each year I've gone, they've had at least one thing that came out on the convention. So yeah, Shadow Scar, I agree, would be a very nice full circle. Fossilized Violence, obviously, we're still waiting on that, and that had a very similar release window that was given to us initially. That could be pretty wild if that were to drop along with it. I don't know how feasible or reasonable that is, but that would be kind of cool.
I think if I'm correct, James Hutt is the only one working the 5x Infinity line right now. Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's just like, I got a feeling it's at some point this year. Part of me is thinking like, okay, this is probably more likely going to be PAX than it's going to be GenCon. But if it came out at GenCon, like, I'm so sorry to all of you who come here for the Cyberpunk or whatever else. I am going to be obsessing over dinosaurs for probably a couple weeks, okay? At least a month. If not, probably a few more. Like, yeah. I fucking love me some dinosaurs.
No, Fossilized Violence is also, like, from getting to run demos for it and stuff like that at some of the more recent conventions, the game is a blast. Like, unironically, Fossilized Violence is a lot of fun. I'm really excited for more people to get a chance to try it out, because it's one of those games that is incredibly simple on the surface. If you have any TTRPG experience behind you, and you have like a board gaming heart, ultimately, I think it's one of those games that you're going to pick up, play it, and you're going to enjoy the crap out of it, because it is such a well put together kind of fusion of those ideas.
If I remember at James Hutt's seminar about 5x Infinity and Fossilized Violence, he was referring to Fossilized Violence not so much as a role-playing game as ROLE, but as role-playing as an ROLL.
Yes. He told me separately to that essentially what he wanted to do was like have people sit down. I think this was back at GenCon 23. I got to talk to him briefly about what he did within the context of not just 5x Infinity, but also just like his own private game studio stuff. And he mentioned then that fossilized violence was very much him envisioning this idea of like, what if we just added some rules to the sort of playing imaginary games with our dino toys as kids on a, you know, bedroom carpet or whatever? Like, what if we just took that experience and like brought that up to adulthood with like the TTRPG elements that you know, layer a couple of more adult themes in the sense of like violence and injury and things like that. You know, make the grown-up version of that game essentially. And I'm like, that is fascinating. And it's something that like, if you have kids that are old enough to kind of begin comprehending how games like that can work, then they're going to enjoy it when they kind of look at that. And it's a whole different way of kind of just thinking about that kind of play. And it's very fun. It's very, very fun conceptually. I'm, again, very excited for people to see what I've seen of it between the demos and being able to play test it a couple of times. It's a very, very fun game. It's very, very exciting.
I suppose something that both of us are hoping for, but you and I tend to get a good idea of like when the wind's blowing certain directions. But Edge Runner's Guide to Night City, I
don't think it's going to be a Gen Con, if I'm being very honest.
I
would say if I had to guess, I'd guess PAX release for that. But I really don't think that's going to be at Gen Con. Yeah, well, because we have been getting these trickles of things that are we can you know kind of tell are tangentially related, it seems, to the ultimate book that's going to come in. But those are, you know, I would assume those are some of these things that we picked up in DLC form. That's like the logos, that's the atlas, that's the you know, even the NPR stuff, the Rockaboy Index. All of that is either connected to it tangentially or as a byproduct of the research that Jay and others have been doing to write and build the guide that we're eventually going to get.
I guess it's that my heart aches for it, but at the same time, it's just like, yeah, it ain't happening, Chief. It's kind of how I'm feeling about it. But there is something else I'm hoping to see come out here that, you know, Free League's been kind of quiet about. Okay, quiet isn't the right word for it, but Replicant Rebellion.
Didn't
they released alpha reading of it?
I was like, I thought they released something related to the Kickstarter for that. Okay. Because I was like, I could have sworn Rob was talking about it at one point where he had gotten access into something because he backed the Kickstarter or something. But because for those of you who don't know, or it's been a while and you don't remember, Rob Barefoot is a massive Blade Runner fan. He and I started talking because I was asking him questions about the Blade Runner TTRPG. And that is what led to me getting to meet and befriend him, was saying, please, Rob, indulge me your Blade Runner fanaticism. I want to hear the words and understand what this is that I, you know, am hearing about. And so, like, the reason that Diamond and I are both even familiar with that, you know, as an RPG, has a lot to do with the fact that Rob was so into that when we first met him. He still is. He just doesn't have the time to run games anymore. So I know all of us are excited, and I do agree. I would hope, really hope, that they're going to have more about that, if not the release of it directly at Gen Con. In that same vein, a thing I'm excited for in Free League's ballpark is they've got some new Dragonbane books on the way.
Really?
Namely, there's a book of spells, and there is I believe it's there's I know one of them's a spell book. The other one, I don't think it's another campaign. I'm pretty sure It's either a setting guide or like an adventurer's guide of some kind. I'll look it up. But yeah, they have like a 2-set. The magic is what caught my eye. Of course it did, because I play an elf wizard in just about everything that I play fantasy. And yes, this includes Daggerheart. Just ask all my play group when they heard, oh, he's playing Emmerron the elf wizard again for the 8th time in a 7th different TTRPG. I will shamelessly do this every time. That is a character I love. There's a reason that Emmerron is my online handle. I will never grow tired of playing that archetype. It's so much fun. So, but yeah, let me look that up, because Dragonbane.
I still want to get the box set for Dragonbane. I don't.
It's so good.
Every time I've encountered it, it's just like I'm always a few dollars short, and I'm just like, God damn it.
It's such a good system. Easily one of my favorite fantasy TTRPG systems behind Daggerheart. Now, Daggerheart, for all of you, if you haven't gotten into it yet, I will have a video out soon. I need to record it. I need to edit it. But I will have a video out soon giving my first impressions of the system. After playing a couple of... we built it as a one-shot. In true Emmerron and his friends play a TTRPG fashion, it is developing into a campaign. We built this intending for it to end quickly. It is not, in fact, ending quickly. So I am very interested, though, to share my thoughts as a player in the system, and having like cursorily read the GM guide elements in the book and everything, which is very spoiler free for anyone who is looking to play the game. I was shocked by how kind of free range the GM elements are. But they, I know, are going to also have demos at GenCon showing that system off. And I would highly encourage people, if you like fantasy RPGs, to give it a shot, because God, it is so, like, when I got into D&D 4th edition, this is the game I remember playing, was effectively what I'm playing in Daggerheart. And it is all of that refined to this beautiful mirror like polish. It's so good. The $70 for the physical set is also very worth it. The cards are very high quality. The only thing it doesn't come with that you will need are polyhedral dice, but a set of chessex will run you maybe 10 or 12 bucks, something like that. So yeah, for like all of $80, you basically have everything you and a group have need to play the game. So I'm trying to find what was on Dragonbane's radar here, but why am I not finding it? Because I want to see what the other book was, because I don't want to leave people waiting. Yeah, because I know we had the campaign book that came out, which was, I think, excuse me, I think it was Path to Glory was the name of, yeah, Path of Glory was the name of that. I'll find it eventually. It's one of those things that, but I'm interested to see what Dragonbane has to offer in Free League World. Other fantasy RPG other than Daggerheart that I'm interested in seeing at Gen Con is Fabula Ultima, which is a game that I've also been quietly running on the side for a couple of my friends. And that is very good. That is another one that is very much a fully narrative game. Players have a lot of agency in that one to kind of reshape the narrative to better align with their stories and to make it more personal for themselves. So if you have a group of friends who are like really, really good at spitballing a story together with you, where like you provide the prompt, like Diamond and I will do this in our free time, like second naturally, at least a few times a week, where we will be in a conversation talking about some cyberpunk concept, and then either Diamond or I will lead with the concept, and the other will be like, yeah. Then the corpo walks in the room's like, yeah, sup assholes. Draws this gun that you're proposing out of their pocket, and the next thing you know, everyone in front of them is just dead. And like we'll do that where we bounce back and forth off of each other, kind of what ifing the scenario until that kind of is like reached a conclusion. And Fabula very much feels like that drawn into a very JRPG framework. And they have a bestiary on the way for their game because we didn't have a proper bestiary for the game yet. We have rules for making monsters, but this will give us like just a shitload of new stat blocks and stuff. Several of which are very, very reminiscent of some Final Fantasy characters like Alexander. There's a giant worm they're calling Nidhogger. There are some slimes. So some of you Dragon Quest.
Giant worm named Nidhogg. The Nidhogg is coming to Fabula Ultima?
It's Nidhogger.
Oh my god.
There's an R at the end. It is different.
All I can think is Hoger now.
Yeah. It's Nidhogger.
Nidhogger. But like, oh my gosh, that was a great boss fight. Sorry, just Heaven's Word nostalgia setting in for a second. I wasn't even there for original Heaven's Word, but like, I gotta see this.
Yeah, well, and they've got a deluxe version of the core rulebook that's coming out. Because the Kickstarter, I believe, for all of this comes in September. So I'm just looking to hear more information, hopefully, about what they've got going on, because I know Need Games will be there. But they've said that Yoshitaka Amano, who, for those of you who are unaware, has done key art for Final Fantasy as a series since the game's inception. Like, we're talking Final Fantasy 1, the box art, the manual art, all of that, very like stylized, almost watercolor and ink kind of style. That is Yoshitaka Amano. That is his signature style. Like, if you see it, you'll know it's his. And he awarded them their ENnie when they won it back in 2022, I believe, in Italy, as a like one of the best game designs for the year. And they've gotten him to do artwork for a deluxe printing of the core rulebook. So the Kickstarter for all of that, the bestiary in that, begins in September. And I am very, very excited and interested in seeing what that then looks like when I, in terms of prices and stuff like that. Because I will, if I can afford to throw money against that, oh my God, I'm going to throw money against that. You have no idea. It's very exciting. Yeah, it's funny. As deep into Cyberpunk RPGs as I've gotten, I've almost recently had a bit of a renaissance with fantasy and just been enjoying fantasy systems that are not Dungeons and Dragons. It's pretty wild.
And then, like I've said, Triangle Agency, we need to catch up with them. I feel so bad because we saw them on the last day of PAX when pockets were empty. I'm just like, oh. It looks so cool, though.
It's like, I want your book, please.
That game is so self-aware. It's just like, I love it. I need it. Oh,
it's self-aware almost in the same way as Cyborg is, without the dread and grit that Cyborg has. But it's very, very aware of like corporate propaganda and stuff like that. That's largely what it builds itself on.
There's no such thing as corporate propaganda. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. It's just, I lived in it just for almost
public messaging.
Yeah,
that's all.
It's because the Triangle Agency almost felt like aesthetically what you'd get if you crossed Control, the Stanley Parable, and like Cyborg together. That's kind of what that game kind of looks like. And I want to dive into that more. I think that game would be super fun to play.
All right. Q Workshop, though. Do you want to see what other shiny math rocks they got coming in? Because like I have dice. I have dice.
I have 3 whole bags of dice.
But also, like, I don't have like an actual like really nice set of dice though. Like, I don't. So, like, I got Q's Cyberpunk dice, which they're nice, but also I might see about sifting around for some really nice dice because my wife's birthday is actually coming up like after GenCon, and I'm like, yeah, wow, yep. Definitely not me who sweated there for a moment, just like, wait, am I gonna be gone during my wife's birthday? Like,
Uh-oh.
nope. I'll be home. I'll be home for Valkyrie's birthday. I will. But
business trips are business trips, and they need to happen. But yeah, that's whenever they've kind of intersected that way. It's like as soon as I get back, we're doing something.
Oh yeah. Me resisting the urge to buy the bullet dice that come in the revolver cylinder spinner.
Oh, those are very cool. Yeah, I want those. Those are so neat. There's a set of those at a local game shop here that I like. Man, I need these.
Oh yeah.
I need these. I think that the set that I saw at the shop is like, if I remember, it was like $40 or $50, but it's
$50, I think.
Yeah, it's like good, but I want them. I want them so badly. I would love some little bullet D6s for Cyberpunk because they're so thematic.
Very heavy pistol, 4d6, just 4 bullets.
Yeah.
Trying to think what other stuff that. Well, I guess one of the other things I'm kind of hoping for though is like, and I know this isn't like at the con itself, but like. One of the things I like to do when I go out on these business trips is every once in a while try something a little exotic, something a little different, including some of the local beverages. So I guess to any of my fans that might be over in Indy, I am down to see what kind of local grub or local beverages you might have on tap, and might be willing to have a pint with you too.
That'd be honestly a lot of fun. I know for any of you who, because one of the things I'm really looking forward to that is on my schedule for the convention, myself and Erica of Pixel fame and Neon Inferno, she and I are going out on a bike ride one of the nights in the convention. It's like a bike and drink thing that they put together, and we'll be doing that one of the nights, just kind of going around downtown Indy. So yeah, not at the con itself, but it's organized in the convention's event space and everything. So I'm excited to do that because it feels like the last 2 years I've walked around Indy quite a bit. At least the area immediately around the convention center. But I don't really feel like I've gotten a chance to like see that. And so that's going to be a good opportunity to get that chance to kind of really like soak it in more. And probably be drenched in sweat by the end of it, knowing how hot it is in the summer over there. And I know I'm one to talk. I live in Arizona, but like humid summer weather is just so different than what I'm built for now. Dry summer weather, it can be 107 outside. I can get a little fatigued. That's fine. But at least my sweat will cool me down. There, that ain't happening. You're just miserable.
Get you a nice pants full of swamp.
You're just grimy at the end of it, and it's you need a shower to just peel it off your skin because it didn't dry. So yeah, that's the thing I'm not as excited about where that's concerned, but I am excited to be able to see the city and to spend some time with friends at the convention that way. So yeah, it's going to be a good time. I'm really looking forward to that side of things. So for those of you who want to see me at some point during the convention, between me running around like a chicken with its head detached, I am going to be running between Artel's Game Room, which is Hyatt's Theory Room, and our space in the demo hall. And I don't remember quite where within we are, but we're going to have a giant city set up right near the front of it, so you'll know where it is if you walk through the demo hall.
Right, Monster Fight Club was another one. We'll go there.
We will.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, finish your thought.
So I will be somewhere between those two spaces, like probably a good 70% of the convention. It might very well turn into more than that. I'm hoping it won't turn into more than that. I trust the GMs that are running games in both rooms, as well as the kind of the staff I have working with me in the front of the demo space to kind of manage things. But I will be around. I will be probably floating between the spaces. You'll probably find me with either this shirt. Basically, you see this like multi-diamond design. It's either going to have the graph like I have on this one, or it's going to have Dandelion from The Witcher. They've Artal's logo along with Cyberpunk or Witcher's logo on the back. I will, if I don't have my backpack on, you'll be able to see that. If you do, if my backpack is like a big tan thing, can't miss it. If you want to say hi to me at the con, want to, meet up, want to, chat. If I'm not busy with something else, or if I'm stationary at a table, please feel free to walk up, talk. I love meeting people. The last couple conventions I've been to, I've had at least a couple people who are like, "Hey, you're the guy from the internet." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." And it's very weird because I'm not used to that still. Even though I know there are like 1,000 people who subscribe to me on YouTube, that's still very weird to think about in the like scope of that. It's a number on a screen most of the time, and I forget that represents actual people. But if you want to say hi, please feel free to come up, say hi. I don't bite. I promise I'm very friendly. I try to be as genuinely myself in here as I am out on the street or in a convention. So I promise I am friendly. I would love to talk with you if you want to talk to me. But yes, that is kind of the spec on what we are going to be doing. We're going to be running demos. They are ticketed demos. The tickets, as far as I know right now, are sold out. So you will need to attempt to just find a spare space. We're going to try to be firing those demos every hour on the hour for Shadowscar, Cyberpunk RED, the Cyberpunk Edgerunners Mission Kit, and Fossilized Violence in the demo hall. There are 4-hour games for all of those, plus The Witcher. Well, not Fossilized Violence. So there are 4-hour games for everything on that demo list except Fossilized Violence, which we have The Witcher instead on the 4-hour games. Again, those are all ticketed. Those are all sold out. If you did want to involve yourself in those are $4. You will have to have generic tickets. If we do not have someone sitting for a game, when the time comes, we'll probably wait for a little bit to start things. And if no one has shown up, you can come and blow your generic tickets on the experience of getting to play in one of those games. Those will be run by such people as Diamond. Phantom will be running several of the games. He'll be running some of the Witcher games. Nyla, for those of you who have hung around, he is going to be one of our GMs this year as well. It's kind of incredible how many people from my circle and community and the other communities that I regularly kind of associate with are part of the game room this year. LCC will also be one of the other GMs there. So there's plenty of people whose voices, if not faces, you're going to be familiar with. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So please feel free to come on by. We have room and the ability to do it. People tend not to show up sometimes. And if that happens, you might be able to get in. Just be warned, they are all ticketed. They are all sold out and you may not get in. That is my self-imposed Gen Con spiel. I promise that was not Artel or Double Exposure who is the ones kind of helping to maintain everything there, who are paying me or providing me anything extra to do that. I'm just extremely excited to be there playing games with everybody, and I put a lot of work with those two organizations to make sure things stay as organized and on the path forward as possible, especially over the last month or two here. So yeah, please come by, please say hi to us. But Diamond, you had mentioned briefly in the midst of that whole spiel Monster Fight Club and how you had the shock moment of realization about them.
So I know I have been meaning to look into to Monster Fight Club stuff, and unfortunately it's kind of ended up in the deep backlog of a bunch of other things. But also, since you and I are here, maybe we need to break out the Combat Zone kit and play around for for the podcast. But Monster Fight Club has some new stuff coming out in here, which also includes stand-ups, which are like full, like durable miniatures that I'm looking forward to. We've got like some members of the Tiger Claws, including like Wakako Okada's miniature in that mixture as well.
Are those the same kind of thing as the acrylics that we got last year?
Nope.
They're different.
Nope. These are like full, like durable. These are the acrylic ones. Okay.
These are. Okay.
They were showing the 3D models painted, not like the actual acrylic stand-ups here. My bad. But Max Tack comes out this year. We have Max Tack, and they're going to be at GenCon, and I look forward to getting my hands on that. Like, oh.
One thing I'm really hoping, this is a hope back in Cyberpunk land, knowing that that's on the horizon for Monster Fight Club. My hope is that we get stat blocks for Max Tack finally for Red, because that would be an incredible thing to like not have to guess at anymore. It's always good to have stat blocks for an organization that important and that like deadly. Though I imagine if you ever so slightly nerf Atom Smasher's stat block and spread that among several operatives, you kind of got a good idea of what Max Tack can do to the average gonk.
Probably, though, amongst some of these other groups that I'm looking to pick up, I am definitely going to be trying to find a Zoners package while I'm out there, and I'll see about getting my hands on Maximum Mike as well while I'm at it.
Yeah,
and 6th Street also dropped like last year after Gen Con, so I might look at 6th Street as well.
Yeah, I mean they're good. They're even separated from the Combat Zone game. They're, as we know, good for tabletop minis. So like very, very good stuff. But yeah, I do want to learn Combat Zone. And I'm like staring at it. I've got the 2077 board game up in my closet as well here that I need to eventually break out.
I guess it's to add any strange speculation and tinfoil hat moments here. Looking at the Max Tack logo in Monster Fight Club, it matches the Max Tack logo of what came out in the DLC this year.
That's kind of why I'm hoping.
That's saying something.
That's why I'm hoping that like putting 2 and 2 together there, we might get something where that's concerned. Just the fact that their logo was in that book at all was already a signal to me. That's like, yeah, this is, we recognize the organization. We know we've talked about them once or twice, but we recognize that they don't have a stat block yet. So please be patient. We're going to get you one.
And what I look forward to with even then, like even having like going on the example of like mixing drinks, changing lives, receiving like that kind of like Danger Gal dossier kind of DLC. I really wish we could see that for more factions down the road.
Yeah,
but I do look forward to what Monster Fight Club has coming down the road, and definitely want to see what I can get my hands on while I'm there, because I want to dive into Combat Zone. It's just, it is there isn't much of like a local following for Combat Zone in the area. It's like, oof. So I'm gonna have to definitely look around.
Yeah, it's more of a beer and pretzels game, I think, in general, at least where we're at. Um, like one of those that, like, if someone has the set, they'll pull it out and they'll play it, but it's not big
Mhm.
like Warhammer, for example.
Oh, what else to look at down the road for Gen Con? I I guess while I am definitely like taking, 5 big steps back from Wizards of the Coast, if maybe I could find an FF14 Magic the Gathering box,
Huh.
I will probably, or like a Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering box.
Are you ready to
I will
shell
probably-
$1,000 for that box?
Wait, I'm sorry, 1,000. That's scalper market, right?
Hold up. Just a moment. I'm about to ruin your hopes and dreams.
What else is new? It's 2025. That's been going on already.
Yeah, let me just look up Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering, because believe me, as someone who is a very long time Final Fantasy fan, when I heard about that, I'm like, oh, I might want to collect that. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be kind of cool. Wow, what an idea. Incredible. I would love to get a copy of that. Meanwhile, so your boxes, let me see. So your commander decks are $40. Your booster bundles, which are, let me see how many packs are in these, because I'm not a Magic player at heart. 9 boosters in one of these is $120. And that's the MSRP, mind you. These are all talking at MSRP. And then the individual boxes, MSRP for $250. However, the secondary market is about the only place you can find those now. So,
well, never mind. Okay,
so
got it. Fuck.
Oh, don't you worry. I'm about to tell you exactly how deep and dark and depressing this is. So for a full set of all 4 commander decks, it is $750 on the secondary market. For the, where is the box? Where is the box? I need Magic the Gathering products, thank you. And then I need buy price high to low, because I have a feeling. So a booster display case for collector boosters for this thing is selling on the secondary market for $4,000. Let's see. The Play Booster display case, which I believe is just a fancy way of saying a box. Let's see. Oh no, 6. So it is a case. So it's 6 boxes for $1,200. So each of those boxes is worth about $200 in that if you buy it straight as a case. The moment you start breaking them down beyond that, it starts getting pretty ridiculous. Yeah, it's not cheap to buy this.
Damn.
It's fucking tragic. It's fucking tragic. It is. Because I want them. Like, I've seen art from like all the cards. If I could buy singles, I would. I would love to rip some packs. God, what a novel concept, ripping booster packs with my own 2 hands. That's something I used to be able to do. And I guess scalpers have decided that no one but those willing to shell thousands of dollars on the sealed product are able to do that. So yeah, it's not great. Not great. Let's see. I can see Emmerron trying to pick up the Cyberpunk CCG that Night Shift Games is trying to make. I'm actually interested.
I was gonna get the Cyberpunk Legends there, but yeah.
Yeah, I would love to try it out, and I believe they will have demos for that at GenCon this year. But I am interested in learning the reduxed version of the original Android Netrunner, or like Netrunner, but like the actual Cyberpunk TCG that existed back in the early 90s. They have a modern version of that I think it's Nisei is the name of the group that produces them now, and it's a CCG instead of a TCG. I've wanted to get into that forever, and that's available print to order on TCG cards, or excuse me, not TCG cards, drive-through cards, which is like the sister site to drive-through RPG. And I've really wanted to like pick a starter set of that up for a long time now, and like learn that game, because that game looks very fun. But yeah, I'm a card gamer at heart. I love card games. I've been playing the fuck out of the new Shadowverse game for the last month, and that's part of why I'm so tired today, is I stayed up to open the new set at 1 a.m. local, and then was crafting decks with my friends until about 4 or 5 a.m. and I needed till about 8 a.m. before one of my decks started winning. So here I am. Like, it was a long night last night. I'm a TCG player at heart, though. So like anytime you tell me there's a game that involves cards, I'm like, ooh, please tell me more. And then I need to determine if it's one that I'll like or not. But if it is a card game, I will probably enjoy it on some level, at least as like a demo. If you get me like 2 starter decks, me and you play a game with a starter deck, I will probably have fun. I love card games. They're super fun.
I guess one of the other things that I do hope for with this Gen Con as well, and I suppose both of us could probably speak to this. I really want to try to actually get like, I enjoy working with Artal, but I do hope I can like try to bag some other connections as well where I can get them.
Yeah.
Seeing what I can make happen. Hoping at some point I'm gonna probably talk with the folks at Stockholm Cartel about maybe getting an interview lined up down the road, though.
I would love to talk with the two of them, because there's two or three of them now. But yeah, like the Stockholm guys have always been awesome. Whenever I've encountered them at conventions, they're super cool.
Corpse Run. Well, actually, you might be a bit busy, but I will consider looking at a Corpse Run.
I don't know. I don't think at Gen Con they do corpse runs.
Be a PAX thing.
They generally have only done that at PAX, but I know that they'll be probably at Gen Con. They were last year.
But I wonder what kind of goodies they're gonna have for us this year.
I'm looking forward to. They said a while back that they were working on a supplement book for Cyborg in similar fashion to some of these supplement books that we've gotten for Morkborg.
For like a cult?
Kind of like Phyrextory, kind of, yeah. But it's okay. There was like another thing that they were working on. It was like a more comprehensive sort of expansion to the game. They were doing a similar one, it sounded like, for Death in Space. So in both of those games, for those of you who have not heard me rant and rave and sing the praises of all of those games before, they run on a very common system. So if you learn one, you kind of learn all three: Mork, Cyborg, and Death in Space. All three are excellent, very simple RPGs. You can literally sit down. They've got tables in the back of the book to roll up a mission scenario if you don't play one of the pre-gen ones that they've made. And they sell the PDFs of the like pre-written ones that they've made for like $2 on itch.io. Like, they're incredibly cheap. It's super fucking fun. It's so much fun. I love those games.
All right. All that being said, do you have any do you have any questions that have come in?
No, I do not believe that I have.
Yeah. And of course, You will find us at GenCon. I do not have purple hair. I have not been able to get that dyed. You'll find me. I'm going to try to get my undercut like the sides shaved down, so that way there's that. But just look for my name tag. You'll see me.
Yeah.
I'll probably be floating around either between our Talos booth, the game room at the Hyatt, or I will probably be walking the convention floor.
Yeah.
Just to see what's out there.
She tall. She's hard to miss.
And also, I'm going to have. I have a lot of pins on my jacket. I have a lot of. I also have a lot of like Penny Arcade's Cyberpunk RED pins on my jacket.
I need to get some of those if ever they do a reissue. I was so sad I couldn't get them when they first did them. Like, I need a set of those. I need my little graph pin.
Yes, my first graph.
Yeah, I need a little tiny graph pin.
I just need it. I need a my first graph plushie. Okay, I'm gonna say it. I need it.
Oh, and I just hear Mel Brooks in the background. Merchandising. Artal, there's a wonderful opportunity here for you.
Shut up and take my money.
It's like we just want some cool Cyberpunk shirts, some cool graph plushes
that aren't blue and yellow, but
we'll even
red.
take a Atom Smasher body pillow.
That does exist, though.
It does.
I thought.
Well, so fans are rabid and they've made one. I don't know if they're out for sale. Maybe on Etsy or something akin to that. I could see that being a product that someone has made for sale. It wouldn't shock me.
Rex plushie, yes.
A Rex plushie, yes. Chibi, Emmerron, and Dia merch when that takes product development, and I'm not nearly big or rich enough to afford that. Deeply unfortunate. I would not mind a chibi rendition of myself. I have no idea what that would look like. I can't even think of that in my head because I think of me as my human self. So that's a very different framework to think of yourself as. What would I look at like as an adorable little chibi anime plushie? I'm not a chibi anime man. Huh?
Just a shirt, just band shirt.
Yeah, band shirt. Yeah, literally, I like, you guys see me once a week most weeks on here, and I'm usually trying to wear my Artal merch that I picked up from them as a volunteer, because that's where I got these. But like, I have most of my wardrobe, to my wife's chagrin, are graphic tees. Most of them from bands, a lot of them Starset. She just walked out of her office looking like she had to bite her tongue to say nothing. She was so not happy I said that. That was funny. But yeah, no, like that is literally, that would be first thing is you have to have some kind of graphic tee. Some kind of graphic tee. Me with my curly hair. It's funny because my curly hair is a product of me just not getting a haircut for long enough. It exists that way. Right now it's short. That's why it behaves. Any longer than this and it starts to misbehave. By the time the convention rolls around, I'll probably start seeing little curls into it. It'll probably be about there.
So, I suppose with that, I'm just gonna see if I have any questions. Do we have any questions from the email that you can email your questions to? It's wireheadspod@googlegroups.com.
Yes.
So if you have questions, be sure to send them to wireheadspod@googlegroups.com.
Or put them in the comment section of one of our various different platforms. We're on Spotify, we're on YouTube. And all of those questions that get asked there, we do make effort to either answer directly with comments or to bring up later here on the podcast so we can talk about it. And everyone can kind of learn from the question being asked. Yeah, because the Q&A document is dusty. These are old. I know we've answered them. Those were weeks ago. So yeah, Chat, if you were here live on Twitch and you have questions for us, please, we would love to answer them. But otherwise, are the Wireheads on Blue Sky? We are both individually on Blue Sky. We are not collectively as Wireheads on there though. I know Diamond, you probably have yours more at hand because I know Diamond is more active on there than I am, although I do have an account there.
Yeah.
I just have not started to catch up with it the same way I would have on. To be fair, I've been pretty good about staying off of most social media that isn't YouTube. So I kind of like keeping it that way.
Blue Sky, I mean, if you're looking for it, it's going to be in, like, if you go back to, like, episode 50s, or, like, if you look down in the About section here, you'll find my Blue Sky.
Yeah, and I just linked mine in chat. So if you do not already follow me, there's a couple of you that do there. I do not promise engagement too often over there. I am extremely bad at doing down there.
Thanks, Blue Sky. I did not need to see Waifu Yoshi right now. Did not need that. Thanks, Blue Sky. And yeah, for those of you guys over my community, yeah, I'm no longer on Reddit, so, or I am making the active choice to unplug from Reddit. So it's just like, yeah. We're getting out of there. No, no more Reddit for me. It's gonna be better for my soul.
Yeah, no, that's that's definitely true. And I mean, like, ultimately, I go on Reddit once in a blue moon, but I mean, it's generally only because someone else has sent me something, and then I start scrolling. But it's like literally, I don't generally plug into the app more than maybe once a week for anything other than like seeing something that someone else has sent me a link to.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm also like over on I mean, I don't know, I'm looking at some other places to go to as well. No, you will not find me on Kick. Nope, not happening. I know that's been suggested a few times that I go over to Kick. Like, nah, it ain't happening. Nah.
Yeah.
But that being said, do we have any other? Well, actually, you know, I have an interesting question that came up on one of my videos, though, that I think we both could answer. Let's see. Still no suppressors in red, though. No, Jeebus crust, not Jesus, but Jeebus crust. That is over in okay, nope, they got my answer. Awesome. Sounds good. Let's see, where is that other question that I was asked? Oh, it does. Never mind. I am gaslighting myself as always.
The podcast that gaslights together keeps making episodes together or something like that.
Rusted Chrome isn't real. It's just a half-baked idea that was thrown around by the Cyberpunk RED community. That's why I kept telling myself until January. I was like, yeah, don't worry, Rusted Chrome is coming.
It's no Rusted Chrome. Look, I've always known it was on the horizon. We've known and heard buzz of that book since around the time we heard about the initial Black Chrome. Like, we heard it was going to be like a quote unquote like a two-part series almost. Obviously that's spiritually kind of true, it seems, based on what we've heard of it so far. It's a gear book, at least on that sense. It is a sister book to it, but we'll see what happens when it comes out. I'm eager to hear more about that as it moves along, because yeah, that's probably not till after, like, Edgerunner's Guide to Night City is definitely the next thing we're getting, I think, just based on the amount of buzz we've heard around it. And don't know whether we'll get Rusted Chrome before we get this 2077 setting guide. Anything related to 2077 is like a very tightly guarded secret around Artel in terms of like getting any information about it while it's still in development is nearly impossible. The CMK was the same way. So it's hard to know how far along each of those are, but I feel like we'll hear more about Rusted Chrome before we hear more about the 2077 kit. We probably will get the 2077 kit probably around the same time that we get Rusted Chrome, if I had to guess, but that's entirely speculation. I don't know. Like everything, guys, we may be admins in the Artal server. We may be playtesters. We do not know anything about release schedules or upcoming products that have not been publicly announced 99% of the time. We are not even always told what it is exactly that we are testing. We just sometimes get something and it is labeled with a name that has no bearing on anything other than knowing what system it is under. And that is it. So it is, yeah, we have no idea what we are working through or working on. We just know that things are in the works, and it is an exciting time to be an Artal fan, and I am looking very much forward to see what comes next. But yeah, we have hit that lovely 7 p.m. Pacific time.
Also, no, Fish, there is no mention of there being an Edge Runners mission kit to sequel shit. No. I just saw that message come up, Fish. No. Absolutely not. We are not starting that. No. You're going to drive me fucking nuts. All right.
Much to my amusement. That's so funny.
I'm gonna be in a rubber room just writing there is no Edge Runners mission kit in, like, I don't know.
There is no CEMK embossing, say. There is no CEMK embossing, say.
There's no CEMK2. There is no CEMK. Anyway, that being said, as always, all of you on Spotify, thanks for tuning in. I know I'm not quite as active over there as, like, you know, looking on the Spotify end. And to all you that tune in on YouTube, thank you. We continue to do this because you guys continue to watch us. Otherwise, this project probably would have died, I don't know, 10, 11 episodes ago. I don't know.
A while ago, probably, at this point. Yeah.
We're still finding stuff to talk about because you guys keep tuning in. And tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad, or, I mean, unless, you know, maybe that's not their thing, or
they may not understand.
You don't talk to them.
I know my parents don't understand what I do over here.
As someone else, as another YouTuber I've seen, tell your dog about it or something, but, or cat, or animal of choice. When's the next podcast? Well, it's the same bat time, same bat channel. Actually, never mind. No,
not this go around. Normally, we would say it's the same bad time, same bad channel every Thursday. Normally, we do broadcast here every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Health and situation permitting. Sometimes there are weeks that either my body disagrees with me and fights me, my cats are having a problem and I need to deal with them, or I have some other kind of personal issue that is conflicted with my time and I cannot work out the conflict to work both. And then have to make choices. This time, though, because next week I will be out of town because I am visiting some family ahead of GenCon in that general part of the country, we will not have a podcast next week. The following week is GenCon. GenCon is chaotic. It is busy. It is loud. There's a lot of things going on. We will probably try to do something akin to what we did last year, which is rig up my lovely glowy mic right here and my janky little laptop and a webcam.
I got a new laptop with a lot more juice in it now if we want to bring that one.
Yeah, I mean, like, we will look at spec and see, but basically it'll involve the two of us sitting down probably with our roommates who are all, like Phantom will be there, Erica will be there, probably that last night of con, and we will probably that Sunday night, because we fly out Monday. We'll recap everything as like a special episode. So if you are not part of our Discords, one or the other or both is even better. That is where we post what we're doing. I know it's where I post games when I'm running professional games of either Cyberpunk or Fabula or Shadowscar or whatever that I want to run. And I announce when I put videos or streams up over there. And I know Diamond does much the same. If you want to go and find us over on Discord, you will know when we are going live for that, because it is very likely going to be very last second. It will probably be somewhat scuffed. So that is the link to my own Discord in chat right now. If for some reason that one doesn't work, I can get you plugged in with a different one.
If you come over to my channel and you go down, there's a button that says Discord. Click on the button. You'll end up in the data bank. It's where I run my professional games as well. By the way, if you're ever looking to play at our tables, we have openings on StartPlaying. I am trying to get a Monday night game spun up. So
there you go. Yeah.
If you need something to do on a Monday night, we got 2 players. We need one more to get that going.
The moment that I get a Daggerheart game spun up as well, because that is probably, in all honesty, the next game that I will have new that I spin up. Unless, one of my other games, once it finishes, most of my campaigns are pretty static with the groups that I have right now. But if openings happen, I know my Monday group, for example, we have one opening right now for Monday afternoons, and we'll be getting another one after this next session. So if you want to join us, we're about halfway through Hope Reborn, as things currently stand, with some weird derailment right now as one of the party members is getting ready to leave, because he has some real world obligations that he has to go do that will prevent him from playing. But that is a game that I do have a slot, and I will have a second very shortly opening up in. And then in the future, once I have a good VTT solution for Daggerheart, I will probably open some games up for that as soon as I feel relatively confident in my ability to run the game, because I love that game. That game is so much fun. But yes, that is where you can find us. If you're not part of our Discords, please join, because most likely that is where we will announce our going live after we do so at the convention. It will very likely be that Sunday night. So for those of you who like putting stuff on calendars and are better at doing so than I am, that will be Sunday, the 3rd of August. It will most likely be somewhere in the late part of the evening. Probably, I'm guessing, somewhere between 8 and 9 p.m. That day, depending on what all is happening. Eastern time, because we'll be in Eastern time at that point. So roughly not that far off of when we normally go live on a Thursday. In reality, but keep an eye there. We'll announce when it happens. It'll be very ad hoc, very last second. We'll be
sorry, but PWB, if you click on that Linktree link or come over to my page, you'll be able to find the Discord link.
Yeah, both take you to where she's doing stuff. There's she also has dropped links to well, no, that's your chat, not your Discord. I was thinking about the Twitch links that we put up before all of our games. Hello. One of my cats is beginning to very loudly bother me.
YouTube, this won't apply to you, but like I'm coming down to like those last couple days of like my fundraiser for covering GenCon expenses. This is just to cover like other bills and other stuff while I go out on this business trip, so that way I don't bury myself too deep in a hole while I'm in the midst of a few other things. So I appreciate all the support, and I'll be on next week. So we can talk Cyberpunk. I don't know if we will do Wireheads officially, but I mean it could be Wirehead 1.5 Wireheads.
Spiritually, Diamond exists on Twitch on Thursdays, even without me being here. So even if the podcast itself doesn't happen, there won't be like an official episode. If you want to bother her about the upcoming release of the Cyberpunk Edge Runners Mission Kit number 2, you can do that there then. But with that said, anything else for this week, Diamond, before we close it out?
I guess stay classy, and we'll see you out there. And I will also broadcast at some point during GenCon. I'll see what I can do for you. But it'll probably be at some point either on Friday evening or sometime during the day Saturday.
Yeah, and I already know I'm going to be running around until the con is basically done. So I cannot promise the same. I've got a very involved role between the game rooms this year. So that is something that will take the priority on my time. But when our episode does go up, that'll be when we kind of gather our notes and kind of talk about the convention, probably talk about it with some of our friends that are in our hotel room as well. So it'll be a good time.
All right. So I suppose with that, I'm Diamond Dust.
And I'm Emmerron.
And I think that's going to be it for this week. As always, to go back to the first half of the episode, go down to the About section, and we'll see you there. Until then, bye-bye now.
Bye,
bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.